Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singotoka.
My name is Elkriki and Today FM rocks here in Tabwa.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilay Tiambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks here in Usur.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, viral infection, bacteria ruled out in US couple's death. E-ticketing abuse hard to contain, says minister. Inside Kayum and Prasad clash over racism claims.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
An infectious cause of death has been ruled out for the US couple David and Michelle Paul, who were holidaying in Nandi last month. This is the latest finding after a number of investigations were conducted by the Health Ministry and its multinational partners, putting Fiji in the clear. Kelly Vadala reports.
Several tests have been conducted in Fiji and overseas following the death of Texas couple David and Michelle Paul.
We ran all our tests through our level 2 lab, looking at all potential infectious causes, and the initial results didn't show anything substantive.
Dr. Wanganembete says they will continue to work with the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention on further tests.
But I'm very happy to say that this confirms that Fiji is clear. I've been asked crazy questions such as Ebola, tuberculosis, none.
The ministry is confident there is no risk to the public.
There were 5 Fijians that had mild symptoms, very vague, whether it was some slight weakness or fever. And they were monitored in Nandi Hospital, and all the tests were also negative.
The government has expressed its condolences to the family for their tragic loss. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
We now join Kelly Vadala. Kelly, you've been following this case closely. What more can you tell us about the latest investigation report released today?
Jackie, the tests that were carried out on the couple included post-mortem examinations, toxicology, microscopic examinations of tissues, and a number of laboratory investigations to exclude a wide range of viral and bacterial causes. The Health Ministry will continue to work with its U.S. partners to carry out further tests, and when that happens, the family will definitely know about it and will be informed. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Kelly. The subsidised student bus fare assistance scheme will be reviewed to re-identify students who genuinely need this assistance. A lot of reports pointing towards the abuse of the scheme has surfaced recently, and the Education Ministry says the review aims to put a stop to this. Catherine Krishna reports.
Several reminders and warnings have fallen on deaf ears as the misuse of subsidised student bus fare assistance scheme continues.
We found out that the program is currently being abused by some parents who are using their students' bus fare cards, and even through the screening process, we found out that some schools are not giving us the correct information about those that actually need this assistance.
Explaining the reduction in budget allocation, the minister says recipient numbers under the scheme are expected to drop following the review.
It's 20 million compared to last year's budget. Can we have some clarification from the Honourable Minister?
As of Term 1 2019, we have been assisting more than 100,000 students under this bus fare assistance scheme, but we seriously believe that these numbers could be reduced if we actually review this program and provide assistance to the targeted group who really deserve the assistance.
People who are found abusing the system will now be taken to task. The subsidised bus fare scheme, which was introduced in 2011, is only for students who come from low-income families. Catherine Krishna, FBC News.
Racism lies in complicating facts, and figures were once again highlighted in Parliament today. This time it was NFP leader Professor Biman Prasad who attacked government, saying they always accused the opposition for pursuing a race-based agenda. However, Prasad was told to get his facts right. Kritika Kumar reports.
Race-based agenda. The NFP leader says at times he feels uncomfortable in the manner in which the government side accuses the opposition of having a race-based agenda.
They keep saying this. I mean, if members from this side talk about Yongona, talk about Kava, talk about Youth farmers, that's not necessarily racist. I mean, you have a Ministry of Youth Affairs. And I urge members on the other side, stop accusing members on the other side or on the opposition side if they're talking about non-sugar crops, if they're talking about, why it should be done this way.
The Economy Minister, lashing out at Prasad, says to debate on facts and not to complicate issues.
Please do not try and have a dichotomous approach and trying to split the divide along sugar as if we're doing everything only for sugar and nothing for anybody else or any other type of farmer. That's what they've been doing. They've been doing that for the past 2 days. Completely incorrect. Please do not do that.
The opposition claims that all cane farmers have water and electricity. However, the Economy Minister has refuted this by saying it's a lie. Setting the record straight, the minister says a lot of farmers have been drinking from wells for decades and they don't have access to electricity. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
All squatter settlements will soon be formalised. This was highlighted by Local Government Minister Pramila Kumar during a debate with Opposition Whip Linda Tambuya on the budget allocations made to formalise the informal settlements. Lena Rees reports.
When a squatter is created, it simply means the person goes and occupies the land.
In a heated moment, the local government minister stated that the opposition whip does not understand the processes involved in formalizing these informal settlements.
Issues faced by those living in informal settlements, I know because my mom lives in an informal settlement, so does my brother. And my question to you is, where does your brother live? Or your mother live? They live in Wakanisila, which you haven't visited yet. Wakanisila, Field 4, Sakoda, Tavela, Torre, and Goea. These are the projects that we are working on.
Kumar says it will take time to formalize these squatter settlements.
We have to walk in, create that road, build that place. And again, there is a huge problem within the community as well. They don't want the road to be on this side. They don't want the drain to be on the other side. So it's a huge problem.
She doesn't know.
So it's not easy that you walk in and you can just develop that area and walk out.
Linda Tambuya's motion to increase the allocation from over $2.7 million to the previous allocation of $3 million for the regularization of informal settlements and the formalizing of informal settlements was defeated in Parliament. Lena Rees, FBC News.
The government does not run the University of the South Pacific, says Economy Minister Aya Said Kayum. The clarification comes after a question was raised by Ro Felipe Tuisawao regarding the government's stance on the allegation of misuse of funds by some senior USP officials. Ali Kimbia has more.
Opposition MP Ro Felipe Tuisawao demanded an answer from the government on the USP saga, and the reply from the Minister for Economy was on point.
Could you please update the House on the outcome of recent USP Council discussions on abuse of office at USP and what the position of the Fiji government on that is?
Any investigations by USP Council is within the domain of the USP Council. We don't run the USP Council.
Said Kayum clarified the USP Council carries out its own affairs.
If there has been any report to any independent body, then again there's a due process to it and they need to go through that process. It is not prudent for us to comment on that.
Meanwhile, in a statement earlier this month, USP had stated that several independent investigators will be carrying out an investigation which began today. The final report has to be submitted by August 16th. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Still to come, more drivers penalised for damaging FRA properties. And productivity at workplaces discussed. Details after the break.
Nambula FM, nambandua ya nasere.
Oya ubasitsa isa ilambasa, ya ndo talita ina warro Nambula FM, nambandua ya nasere.
Guya do tumeli ako na tao no hinga toka. Talita kina na warro Nambula FM, nambandua ya nasere. Wana mtuma Nambula FM, nambandua ya nasere nawaluan.
Na vengo fanya na tao.
Locals serving on foreign vessels as observers are contracted, says Fisheries Minister Semi Koroila Vesau. The clarification comes after opposition MP Lenora Ngerengere-Tambor raised a motion to increase the allowance for these workers by $1 million from the $260,000 allocation. Savara Tambor reports.
Referring to an incident involving a Fijian at sea, the opposition MP says that the allowance allocated should cover insurance and compensation for any violation reported.
This august House cannot allow our people of Fiji to get on fishing vessels and monitor fishery stock of high-value commercial fish species if we're sending them to their deaths. And actually, if we could remove the $1 million from Corvus allocation to cover that, I'm sure that could be done.
Fijian Hussein Masimbalawu had died while serving on a foreign vessel in 2016, and the fisheries minister set the record straight on how this incident was dealt with.
I understand the case that she's talking about. His body was recovered from the American Samoa and brought back to Fiji. I'm not aware of the issues that related to what she's talking about. I think if she wants to know the details, she should go to the Ministry of Employment, because that case would be dealt at that level.
The opposition MP's motion was defeated this afternoon. Savera Tambua, FBC News.
More drivers have caught bills for damaging infrastructure, with the highest fine given to date standing at $8,000. The new billing system was introduced last year to stop drivers from damaging Fiji Roads Authority property, which includes traffic lights, street lights and railings. Pradinta Prakash reports.
The FRA spends millions of dollars to improve infrastructure, and those caught deliberately damaging them will be penalized.
Anybody who damages our assets, fencing, street lights, even the road surface, will be charged. They'll receive a bill for the repairs going forward. 6
more drivers were recently billed for damaging FRA properties.
There's one situation on Kings Road where a speeding car left the road and went through and destroyed about 4 panels of fencing and some curb damage. That has a value of around about $8,000. So the bill will be going to the person responsible.
The FRA chief executive says when they have a police report, witness or identification of the vehicle involved in damaging the property, they work with the Land Transport Authority to identify the person responsible. This is then sent as a bill to be paid within an allocated time. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
More people are showing interest in the National Trainers Conference, as upskilling is key to sustainable growth and productivity at workplaces. A 2-day workshop underway in Nandi aims to gather feedback on how to improve, influence and empower employees. Felipe Naikaso has more.
On others. These human resource officials and industry professionals are sharing knowledge and experience on best practices when dealing with employees.
The main reason why we're bringing people together is this is a forum for people to talk about what their training needs are and how the training institutions can provide them with the relevant and training that'll bring them the kind of skills and competence for their workers to meet and address their urgent needs.
Topics like how to empower high-performing employees, building talent to transform performance, and reinventing organizations with training and development are being discussed.
Unless you deliver that kind of training, you could actually contribute to the economy slowing down or not doing an optimal job.
Striking the right balance of dealing with employees differently was stressed to the participants.
If people are empowered and happy to be there, they're probably less likely to be that, rotten potato in the sack, as Professor Chandra mentioned. So I think that's an interesting point.
The conference, which started off in 2015 with less than 80 participants, has grown to more than 200 delegates attending each year. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
The Fiji-US Alumni in association with the US Embassy in Suva and Wellington are holding a regional 2-day workshop focused on strategic planning. Participants have come from around the region, having represented their countries in the United States on one of several state programs that promotes a cultural and educational exchange. The workshop will conclude tomorrow. We'll see participants competing for a funding pool of $50,000 in grants for their respective projects. The best 5 pitchers will be awarded a funding grant of $10,000 each to carry out their project. Later in sports with Jamie, India loses star batsman at Cricket World Cup, but Rachel joins us now with the latest in business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up after the break, market access for rural women. And in growing Fiji, new traffic management restriction planned. Stay with us.
For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singapore. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Seni Rawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino. I'm from Outrigger, Coral Coast, Singapore. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Marida. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Outrigger, Singapore.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Leading business tonight, women craft producers in rural and remote parts are now benefiting from an exclusive partnership agreement signed last week. Under the partnership between Tapu Group of Companies and Rise Beyond the Reef, a local NGO, a dedicated space has been given to craft producers in 14 Tapu stores. The Rise Beyond the Reef product will ensure there is a dedicated space for products made by rural women. These products include weaving and printed textile made by close to 400 women from Ba, Ra, Maduwata and Narai Island. Fijians can now make payments for a range of government services on the Digital Fiji app following an agreement between the ANZ and Economy Ministry. ANZ Fiji country head South Minam says with more critical government services available online, ways to make services even simpler and more convenient is key for Fijians. Fijians can now request a birth certificate or register a business at any time of the day and from anywhere around the world without queuing up, simply through an app and a credit card. And let's take a look at what Sean from HFC Bank has from the trading world.
In probably what was the key event of the week, the US Federal Reserve left its benchmark interest rate unchanged this morning. The central bank indicated that it was ready to battle rising global and domestic economic risk, with rate cuts beginning as early as next month. Though the baseline economic outlook remains favorable, Fed Chair Jerome Powell said that risks continue to rise, including the drag that rising trade tensions may have on US business investment and signs that economic growth is slowing overseas. Meanwhile, in New Zealand, their GDP numbers released today showed that the economy grew in line with expectations in the first quarter. The annual GDP over the last 12 months has increased by 2.7%. Perhaps this is supporting the case for the central bank to keep interest rates unchanged at its policy meeting next week. And that's all from HFC Bank for now. Vinaka.
Thanks, Sharon. On to today's exchange rates as it was set this morning. A mixed day for our dollar as it gained against the Chinese yuan, the Aussie dollar, as well as the Kiwi dollar, the euro and the Japanese yen. But it did slip against the Chinese yuan, the US dollar and the PNG kina. Onto the commodities market, all up with oil prices closing at $54 per barrel. Gold went up again, ending the day at $1,379 per ounce, and silver closed at $15.24 per ounce. And in growing Fiji tonight, private vehicle drivers have been warned to be cautious of the Clearway traffic management restriction coming into effect in Suva in 3 weeks. Fiji Roads Authority says this is being done to reduce traffic congestion and improve public safety. Chief Executive Jonathan Moore says from July 8th, this restriction will prevent all vehicles from stopping, picking up, dropping off and parking during peak traffic periods in both directions. Moore says they will be working with schools along these routes.
Between 6:30 and 9:30 in the morning and 4 and 6:30 in the evening, you can't stop on the clearways. There'll be yellow markings on the side of the road showing where the clearway is. There'll be designated drop-off areas and pick-up areas for buses, in taxis, but private vehicles cannot stop on those roads. It'll be policed and there will be fines issued for people.
The The first implementation, Stage 1, is the McGregor, Bow and Rower Street route. And that's a wrap from the business desk for tonight. Jamie's up next with sports.
Thank you, Rachel, and good evening in sports tonight. Some members of the Boxing Commission to face the axe. And Krishna wins another top award. This and more coming up.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Soname Nasori Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm in Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Kritika from Jax Nasori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nasori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
The accolades continue to pour in for Fiji football captain Roy Krishna. The Fijian football wonder boy last night named the Kapura Sportsman of the Year at the Wellington Sports Awards. Some members of the Fiji Boxing Commission board will be sacked. Sports Minister Parveen Kumar revealed this in Parliament this morning while clarifying the allocation of $50,000 given to the commission. Apenisa Wangai Rondovu with the story.
Opposition MP William Mengaboka questioned the sports minister on how the allocation will be utilized, as many local boxers don't perform when they fight in New Zealand and Australia.
I'm very concerned that a lot of our boxers are going overseas, mostly Australia and New Zealand, and they don't perform very well. It's a sport that used to be quite dominant back in those days.
Bala says some board members of the Fiji Boxing Commission are not doing their job and they will face the axe.
At the outset, let me say that as the minister responsible, I'm not very happy the work that boxing is carrying out. Unfortunately, we have some board members on the Boxing Commission who are not doing their job, and definitely they'll be fired. That's number one.
Bala says work is also in progress to build new boxing gym to assist local boxers.
We are happy that government has given us the old depot, the PWD depot, where the renovation works has started, and also at one of the rings that has been given with the assistance of Australian High Commission.
The government is working with the Commission to further develop the sport and at the same time enhance training for local boxers. Apenisa Wangardovu, FBC Sports.
Every match at the Pacific Games for the Fiji women's football team will literally be a final for the side. The format of the competition does not include quarters or semi-finals. Rather, the top two teams from each pool go straight to the gold medal playoff. Niraj Maharaj has more.
The top two qualifier format makes it tough for any team taking part in the competition.
Because, there is no semi-final in football. So the one that comes on top of the pool directly qualifies to the gold playoff. So we want to be that team from our pool.
Rondo says sticking to the game plan and playing the cards right is what will be needed.
We need to play according to a plan. We need to make sure that we deal with each game as it comes. And most importantly, secure 3 points as we go along.
Fiji will be battling with Tonga, New Caledonia, American Samoa and hosts Samoa in the pool stages.
Samoa being the host, they have included 12 overseas-based players in their team. American Samoa will come with their USA-based players. And New Caledonia has always been a very tough team to beat.
The team aims to remain humble and stay at the top of their Pacific Games campaign.
Humble, going as underdogs, because we have a lot of people to prove wrong. It's our best.
The Vodafone national football women's team will start its campaign against American Samoa in 2019 Pacific Games in Samoa. Niraj Maharaj, FBC Sports.
The Tailevu women's rugby team is ready for its final Skipper Cup match against Nandrunga this Saturday. While its players and officials are from many parts of Fiji, assistant coach Anasa Pongokoto says the team has grown into a family united by a passion for Tailevu rugby.
The training so far, they are good now. They are in the high standard of fitness, and Mostly the girls are from different provinces too. Most live from Narunga. And I want to thank for our trainer. Our trainer is from Nandi, John, who is an experienced trainer who help us in the fitness from right now.
Skipper Cup men's defending champions Suva are well aware of the threat Nandrunga pose when it comes to playoffs, and they're promising to come out guns blazing this Saturday. The capital city side made a late comeback in last year's final to snatch the title from Nandrunga, and they don't want to leave it too late this time around. While a number of its senior players are committed to the Fijian Latui this weekend, they believe they still have enough firepower to get the job done.
It is not felt much for preparation this week. I know they have another duty or another calling to attend to for the national duty. So we have a lot of young players, capable players to continue with whatever we have been doing throughout the skipper season this season.
The Skipper Cup final between Nandrunga and Suva will kick off 3 p.m. this Saturday at the ANZ Stadium. The proposed Pacific Sports Academy will be constructed at the vacant land in front of the Vodafone Arena. The academy will host elite athletes preparing for local and international sports events. Fiji Sports Commission Chair Peter Mazie says the academy will work with the USP and FNU for sports education programs. The Commission has received funding from the Australian government to build the academy, with work on it to begin next year.
There is a realisation that we need an academy for our elite athletes. Yeah, in front of the Vodafone Arena there's a large grassed area. It's not the car park area. There's a grassed area that would make it a very good academy.
From a drug-infested rural town to one of the NRL's most promising stars. It's just part of the story involving Brisbane Broncos centre Katoni Staggs, who will debut for Tonga against New Zealand on Saturday. Just as remarkable, the reason why he's playing for the Tongans. The cricket, New Zealand captain Kane Williamson played one of the great World Cup innings to steer his side to a tense 4-wicket victory over South Africa. Needing 8 to win from the final over, Williamson swept the second ball for 6 to complete a majestic century. Then he sliced the next away for 4 to see the Black Caps pass their target of 242 with 3 balls to spare. Staying with the World Cup, India has been dealt with a severe blow as opener Shikhar Dhawan has been ruled out of the remainder of the tournament with a fractured left thumb. England face a favourable draw in the Women's World Cup last 16 after they beat 2011 winners Japan 2-0 to finish top of Group D thanks to 2 Ellen White goals. Topping the group does leave England in the half of the draw containing host France and potentially defending champions the USA. In today's play of the day, 7-time Grand Slam champion Venus Williams in fine form in a first-round match at the Birmingham Classic. That's it from Sports Tonight. You can join Angie later on with weather, and in the world of the weird and wonderful, a football-playing bear. Find out more after the break.
मैं नवनीत नंद नंबोलुम्बुआ से जैसे प्रेनी नोट मशहूर है वैसे रेडियो फिजी 2 भी सभी जगह मशहूर है। रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
सीमा नकाशी से मैं रेडियो फिजी 2 पसंद करती हूँ सुनने के लिए। रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
मैं हूँ अंकल किंग सिंगाटोका टाउन के टैक्सी ड्राइवर। जैसे रग्बी फेमस है वैसे रेडियो फिजी 2 फेमस है।
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
Yesterday, we revealed Facebook plans to launch a new digital currency called Libra as it moves to look into the business of buying and selling online. But concerns are now being raised over how people's money will be protected. And we join our weather lady Angie with all the very latest right now.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. Just one more day till we can wind down and relax under the blissful sunshine. I had you imagining, didn't I? Well, let's get back to today's weather situation. The morning was a bit unsettled, but it turned out sunny later on. Now, taking a look in the west, it was dry with sunny spells being victorious. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, quite sunny with little in the way for showers later tonight. And up north, wish to embrace the outdoors? Well, yes, this side is the way to go. Great sunshine. At sea, east to southeast winds 10 to 15 knots, moderate to rough seas. For the tides, high tide at 9:13 p.m. with low tide at 3 a.m. Sunrise at 6:37. For tomorrow, it's looking better than ever. I mean, Fridays are usually better, but it's a whole package called Friday with fantastic weather. Tomorrow's temps, Lambasa will hit 30 degrees. And looking further on to Saturday, the mild weather will continue. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fijian Pulse tonight, we asked, who will you support in the State of Origin this weekend now that 2 Fijians are featuring for the Blues?
I'm not sure, but both teams are good teams. I believe Queensland should win the game.
I support the Maroon because they are my team.
I'll cheer for Blues because it's my favorite team.
I support the Blue because 2 Fijians was playing in their team.
I support New South Wales.
I support Queensland because they're an experienced team and simply because I'm wearing their color today.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, a man relaxing at his holiday home caught this bear playing soccer in his backyard. Recapping the main stories for tonight, viral infection, bacteria ruled out in US couple's death. E-ticketing abuse hard to contain, says minister. And side Kayum Prasad clash over racism claims. Now for these stories and others, tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. Our poll question segment, we're asking, should municipal councils take a lead role in capturing stray dogs? Visit our FBC website to answer. And our shot of the day, an absolutely gorgeous one sent in by Gabby Vererua, which was taken from Momi Bay Gun Site in Nandi. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj. Share it with us via Facebook page, FBC News. Follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, good night.
Bula, neva ngo malakai leloma, ngongai nakas ondo makarong ng Bula FM, nambang 2 na sere.
Oya ubasit sai sa Lambasa, ya ondo talita na warong ng Bula FM, nambang 2 na sere.
Guya do Timeli, ako na tao no hinga toka, talita kina na warong ng Bula FM, nambang 2 na sere.
Wana tunga ng Bula FM, nambang 2 na sere nawaluan.
Neva ngo fane na tao no singa toka, kita ondo talita ka ng Bula FM, nambang 2 na sere.
Bula FM, nambang 2 na sere.